All right, today we're going to tackle a question that I think we've all asked ourselves. It's a question that can feel, well, loaded with pressure, with a ton of uncertainty. And honestly, it might be the very thing holding you back from building the future you really want.
You know the one, right? When is the best time to start investing? I'm sure you've thought about it. Maybe you've asked your friends, or let's be real, you've probably typed it into a search bar late at night. It's one of those questions that can just paralyze you, because it feels like there has to be one perfect, secret answer. But what if the answer isn't a date on a calendar at all?
Well, the thinking we're diving into today argues that the best time to get started has nothing to do with your age or how much money you have in the bank. Nope, it's all about your mindset. Because the greatest opportunities, they aren't seen with your eyes, they're seen with your mind.
And this quote from Robert Kiyosaki just nails it. The real ticket to the game, the real prerequisite to investing, isn't a pile of cash. It's financial education. It's about understanding the rules of the game before you start playing.
I mean, think about it. We go to school for years to learn a skill so we can go out and earn a paycheck. But whoever really teaches us what to do with that paycheck to build real, lasting wealth? This gap in financial education, it puts the average person in a really risky spot, completely dependent on a job and vulnerable to every little shift in the economy.
Okay, so where do you even start with this whole financial education thing? It actually begins with one simple but honestly profound distinction. It's all about understanding the difference between assets and liabilities.
It really is this simple. An asset puts money in your pocket, a liability takes money out of your pocket. That's it. Sounds easy, right? So why do so many of us struggle? Well, it's because we spend our lives acquiring liabilities that we think are assets. And just knowing that difference, that's the very first step to building real wealth.
So what counts as a real asset? We're talking about things that generate income for you. You know, a business that runs without you having to be there, stocks that pay dividends, a rental property that brings in cash every month. These are the things that build wealth because they are literally working for you.
And that's the goal, right? To build this portfolio of income-generating assets from all over the world. A machine that's making you money 24/7 instead of you having to work for it.
Okay, so you get it. The goal is to acquire assets. But how? How do you actually do it? How do you pick the right ones? Well, you don't just guess. You need a system.
And this part is absolutely crucial. Real investing isn't about getting a hot tip from a friend or just having a gut feeling about something. It's about having clear criteria and sticking to them. It's a process, not a prediction. And here's a system you can actually use. Let's call it the 4 pillars of investing. It's a framework to help you make smart decisions. So first, you have fundamental analysis, which asks, is the company actually strong? Second, technical analysis. Which way is the market headed? Third is your cash flow strategy. How are you going to make money no matter what the market does? And fourth, and this one is so important, risk management. How are you going to protect your money? Let's quickly touch on those.
So, that first pillar, fundamental analysis, yeah, it's like you're a financial detective. You're digging into the company's health. Is it actually making money? Is it well run? Is it a solid, dependable business?
Then you've got technical analysis. This is more about, crowd psychology. You're looking at the charts to see how the market feels about the company. Are more people buying or selling? It helps you spot the trend. The third pillar, cash flow strategy, is all about picking a plan that can make you money whether the market is going up, down, or just sideways. And finally, you have risk management. This is all about protecting your capital. It's knowing when to get out to cut your losses so you can live to invest another day. Okay, so let's say you've got the mindset, you've got a system ready to go, but there's still that feeling in the pit of your stomach, right? That fear. The fear of making a mistake, of losing money, or the fear that you just don't have enough to even begin.
See, this is where we need to flip the script on risk. We think starting is the risky part, but the sources we're looking at argue that waiting is the real risk. Why? Because when you start early, your greatest asset isn't money, it's time. Time lets your assets grow, and it gives you time to recover from the inevitable mistakes.
You know, I love this analogy. Think of investing like learning to play tennis. You're not going to be Serena Williams on your first day. You're going to swing and miss, a lot. But you learn from those misses, you adjust your grip, you correct, and you get better. The goal isn't to be perfect right away. It's just to stay in the game and learn. Failure is just part of the process.
And look, you do not have to start big. There's this great story from one investor. His very first live trade with real money on the line had the potential to make a grand total of, get this, $11. That's it, $11. The point wasn't the money. The point was to start, to get in the game, and to build from there.
So all of this, it really brings us to the most important idea of all. What is the one thing that truly, truly determines your financial future?
You know, at the end of the day, building wealth isn't about how much money you make. We've all heard those stories about athletes and lottery winners who made millions and lost it all. True wealth, it's about building a system that keeps and grows your money over time, for generations. And that all comes down to one thing: knowledge.
And there it is. That's the secret sauce. Your job, your car, your house, those aren't your greatest assets. Your mind is. It's the one tool you have that can take knowledge and literally turn it into wealth. Investing in your financial education is, without a doubt, the highest return investment you will ever make. Which brings us all the way back to where we started, that big, intimidating question. After everything we've looked at, how do we answer it now?
The best time to start investing isn't when you finally get that raise or when you turn 30 or when the market is perfect. The best time is the moment you decide to invest in your own financial intelligence first. That's the starting line.
So the final question I want to leave you with isn't about the market at all. It's about you. What's one thing you can do today to invest in the most powerful asset you'll ever own? Your answer to that, that's where your journey really begins.